Hello pilots. Every airplane is inherently cool, but no denying that some are way cooler than others, and some are definitely way cheaper than others. Luckily for us, some are both. We'll start with the Quickie Q2. This strange little airplane is a two-seat version of Burt Rutan's Quickie. It's a canard design with stubby wings and a hockey stick tail. The main gear is mounted on the ends of the canard, which makes taxiing almost as difficult as landing, but not quite. Admittedly, the Q2 has a reputation for being unsafe, but is it actually? Yeah, definitely it is, but only statistically. I was able to find 189 reported crashes. If all 2,000 kits that sold were completed, that would be an appalling ratio. But of course, they weren't all completed, and that ratio is actually much worse. Anyway, the Q2 is many things. Safe isn't one, but cool is, and so is cheap. With the exception of the subsonics jet, all Sonics planes are less than $50,000. The OneX is the one-seat version, and I like it better. First of all, it's more roomy. What? It's true. The OneX has more legroom and headroom than the Sonics. The OneX is plenty wide for one person, at 2/3 the width of the two-seat Sonics, and with more headroom and legroom. If you're flying solo in either, the OneX is going to give you a lot more space. It's rated to +6 and -3G, just like the Sonics, making aerobatics capable. Unique to the OneX, though, is the simple folding wings. One person can fold it up in just a couple of minutes. For just $30,000, the OneX offers a lot. I see it as a great little performer that you can fold up and put in your pocket. Yeah, it's just got one seat, but you could buy two OneXs and get a second pilot's license for less than a lot of two-seat experimentals. That's pretty cool and really cheap. The Piper J3 Cub is living flying history. It took flight for the first time just 21 years after the Wright brothers' flyer. It's a World War II and a Korean War vet. Any other plane with this history would be confined to museum exhibits. The Cub was so popular they built 20,000 of them. They're also popular subjects of restoration, so they're not hard to find even today. Performance-wise, well, I mean, it was the dawn of aviation. It went up, which was a big deal back then. They're real attention grabbers at any fly-in. It's like showing up at Cars and Coffee in a Model T. You can fly it around with the doors open and the passenger sits in the front, which is pretty fun for everybody. One of the most copied planes in history, and yet the original remains more affordable than most of the copies. Definitely a cool plane. Truth be told, most Pitts won't make the $50,000 cutoff. The oldest variants will, and the S1C is the oldest variant. Well, the oldest one that they made more than two of. The aerobatic performance was outstanding, and for a long time, Pitts were the de facto aerobatic champions. The S1 is another single-seater, but who really cares? Imagine taking your motorbike out for a ride on a Sunday afternoon. That's sort of how you would approach owning an S1C. Being designed solely for aerobatics, fuel capacity is scant, range is abysmal, and baggage capacity is non-existent. But remember, your goal was to buy a plane that's cheap and not boring. Pulling 6Gs for 30 grand checks the crap out of those boxes. My absolute favorite inexpensive airplane is the Rutan Long Easy. It's fantastically weird. It has such strange performance. It's no faster than a Cessna 182, but has the range of a small jet and climbs like a ring-tailed lemur. And just look at it. It's a home build and infamously difficult to build. It was offered as plans only, not a kit. Completing it in less than 10 years is definitely the exception. The extra-wide wing strakes are hollow and can store cargo. Some builders added cargo pods under the wings and fuselage. Some turned the rear seat into an auxiliary fuel tank, increasing range to more than 4,000 nautical miles. That's the distance from New York to Hawaii, or London to Mumbai. And while that's both true and amazing, that flight would take 34 hours. Long Easy easily tops the list of cool, inexpensive airplanes, but may top the list of cool airplanes at any price. Definitely in my top 10 favorite planes of all time. That's cool, cheap planes. Thanks for watching. See you in the next.